Local fire departments, including Montecito, are reminding people about the red flag warnings. And this weekend is the 3rd anniversary of the Thomas Fire that began in Santa Paula on a windy night. It is time now for our first look at the forecast. Sean Quinn is here with that. Sean?
Yeah, and unfortunately, Tracy, eerily very similar sort of fall that we had back then we're experiencing right now. Very dry, hardly any rain falling in through November, nothing so far in December, and we're looking at yet another tranquil, very quiet pattern. Cold mornings giving way to mild afternoons, but as we get a little bit closer, storm systems running over the top of us. And yeah, as you just mentioned, as you led into this weathercast, you took away a little bit of my thunder, but boy, look, it just lights up all over the place. We have wind issues, we have fire weather watches and warnings posted all over the place. This will last. The winds are expected to be quite strong both tomorrow, again Tuesday. They'll die off, but the lingering effects of the red flag conditions will last at least until Wednesday. So when I come back in just a minute, Tracy, we'll talk a little bit more about that, trying to break this pattern. It's going to be a rough one as far as staying really dry, although very beautiful. Tracy?
At least you're giving everyone a heads up.
We'll try to get it better.
A heartbreaking crime out of Lancaster happened last night. That's where a father was arrested on suspicion of decapitating a 12-year-old boy and a 13-year-old girl. 34-year-old Maurice Taylor was arrested for those murders. They found 2 other children alive in the home, and the mayor of Lancaster said the world has been shredded. He said help is available for anyone on the verge of a crisis if only they'll reach out. Sheriff's deputies are investigating a confrontation over a mask at the Oaks Mall in Thousand Oaks. That's where 2 men got into a fist fight and a third joined in on Saturday night. They say an off-duty officer from an undisclosed agency brandished a weapon. No shots were fired, but shops went into lockdown and people ran for cover. Child care providers need personal protective gear. That's why First 5 teamed up with the Children's Resource and Referral on Saturday. Members of a child care planning council helped hand out pandemic supplies on Carmen Lane in Santa Maria and on State Street in Santa Barbara. This isn't the first event, and it won't be the last. Ventura County's main jail and Todd Road Jail has canceled in-person visits. The sheriff says it is in conjunction with the governor's latest stay-at-home order. And a bake sale is helping the Unity Shop in honor of its late leader before next Saturday's telethon. And the space station is getting a special delivery of Christmas feasts and presents. We'll show you today's launch in Florida. That's ahead on your local news channel live at 6. An ongoing bake sale is serving up sweets for the Unity Shop. It took place outside of the Santa Barbara Design Center on Saturday. For the past 5 years, a Laguna Blanca student has hosted this annual event, with all proceeds funding food for those in need. But this year, she's also honoring the late Barbara Tellefson. The Unity Shop founder passed away at the age of 84 last month.
I think she'd want the community to help as much as possible, especially in this whole Corona and COVID situation. The help is much more needed now than ever.
The bake sale already raised more than $1,100. Another one will take place on Saturday from 11 until 4. In Northern California, Pacific Gas and Electric have reduced the possibility of public safety power shutoffs due to weather conditions, but that might not be the case here. Let's check in with Sean Quinn to see how our wind is looking.
Yeah, because we're seeing more of what will be eventually a Santa Ana-driven event, and typically Northern California, they deal with their wind, they call it a northerly event. So unfortunately, everybody across the state, it's a beautiful night out there. We'll start with some positive energy across Santa Barbara, decorating a little crisp and cool out there. The mornings have been really on the chilly side. And as well, if you look down here, the humidity, every time it tries to come back, that's actually pretty decent for a wintertime reading. This is going to tank over the next couple of days and get very dry again, and that's going to lead right into this, which of course is high wind issues. Whenever the map is multicolored like this, it means that you have to kind of look through it. So high wind issues will go through about Tuesday, and then they should start to drop off maybe late Tuesday afternoon, early evening. And then the fire issues, though, that will likely lag around. Usually it does an extra day or so. So through about Wednesday, even though the fire weather warning will drop there, it will likely continue for other portions of Southern California, and that includes Ventura County, probably through about at least early Wednesday. Now again, a beautiful day. Look at that, boy, just a few degrees above where you should be in Santa Barbara, and the lows on both Santa Maria and just about everywhere, Santa Barbara included. You can see getting on the cool side, even though the daytime highs are so nice, and that's because the sky is so dry. There's nothing to hold in that moisture, or I should say the heat. The moisture would help if we had a little bit of extra humidity. We just do not have that, so a dry sky. OI today, 78 degrees. You can see 71 in Santa Barbara, 67 on the cool end, a little bit more westerly wind in Goleta. Same story for areas north of Point Conception. Staying really actually very nice, a little cool maybe in Lompoc, and of course the mornings really brisk out there as you start off in the 30s, even a few high 20s for our coldest areas. Currently seeing some 60s and 50s. Looks like more 50s than 60s. Maybe a little bit of a north wind energy popping down the Gaviota Pass right there at 21 miles an hour, and that gives you that little bit of a taste of what's expected over the next couple of days as we start to look at less of this, which is right now not too bad, actually fairly decent readings, and then we'll start to see more of the wind and less of the humidity, basically translating into another dry event. Really active Pacific Ocean, kicking up a lot of surf across the west coast right now. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. This big storm, though, pinwheeling a lot of much needed moisture into Oregon and Washington, and just a little bit tries to work its way into even extreme Northern California. It's a really dry state setup right now, and it's going to stay that way. You can see the moisture streaming up over my head and over my shoulder. And look, every time we see a little bit of a turn where the energy comes in from the oceans, it gets blown right back out. So there's the tail end of the systems brushing Northern California. And for the rest of us, southern, central, and even much of Northern California, we stay high and dry, and that's just the way it's going to stay. Now watch the wind tomorrow. There's the sign of the Santa Ana showing up both tomorrow morning, and then look how quiet it is for much of the region once you get north of the county line. But then watch what happens on Tuesday. Sometimes Santa Anas do get into the south coast of Santa Barbara, and it looks like that's what we'll see once we get to Tuesday. Not overly strong compared to your neighbors to the south and even to the north, where we'll have some northerly winds as well. But it looks like everyone's going to see the wind, and that Tuesday will be the day that we see a lot of 70s and even some 80s popping up. Good news is, though, we should drop those temperatures, I should say those wind speeds, once we get to Wednesday or so. Tomorrow, look at the highs, and then watch what happens when I flip the switch to Tuesday. Just a 24-hour change, and with that offshore effect going widespread, your eyes do not deceive you. Look at all those 70s and even some low to almost mid 80s popping up, and it will likely go right back the other way. So it's going to be kind of a shock to the system. Monday to Tuesday, you'll definitely notice it, and then from Tuesday to Wednesday, another noticeable change. Watching the wind, of course, a beautiful day, mild temperatures for the most part, slightly above normal in many areas. Chilly AM, but a super PM. And again, watching those winds very, very closely across all areas. It's really just a dry fall. We're almost getting to winter, and we've still really not seen any significant rainfall. So enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the weather, but let's all collectively get together and hope for a change as far as some rain. Surf is going to be dramatically picking up over the next couple of days, especially for areas north of Point Conception. High surf warning all the way up into Northern California. Tides, luckily right now, are fairly mild, so we won't have to worry about too much beach flooding. And there are your temperatures over the next 7 days. Hanukkah on Thursday, warm and dry Tuesday, cooling but still well above normal, and mild all the way through much of the week. No rain is forecast right now. We're going to go ahead and stop on Santa Maria. I'll send it back to you, Tracy, and everybody is looking for rain. It's not there, and we're just going to have to kind of hold on tight through a couple of days of wind.
All right, we'll take it. Thank you for that. Some cities are offering coronavirus test kits, Los Angeles included, perfect for the season. They partnered with Fulgent Genetics to make it free and fast, but to participate, you must either be at risk or have symptoms or be in close contact with someone who is sick. Coming up, today's launch will deliver holiday treats to astronauts tomorrow. And Mike Clan has NFL action plus a special challenge from a local businessman. Your weekend news continues next on your local news channel live at 6.
Mic check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, mic check.